Yo, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well, and if you're anything like me, ever since the XDefiant stress test wrapped up, you guys have been supremely bored, looking for anything to fill that XDefiant sized hole and keep your mechanics sharp while you wait for the release of the game, which, if this recent tweet from Mark Rubin is anything to go off of, might be sooner than we expect. But before we jump into today's video, guys, all I ask is that if you guys are looking forward to the release of XDefiant, that you consider dropping a like on the video. It really helps the channel out, and as well, once the game does come out, I'm going to be going crazy with the content, of course. So if you guys don't want to miss any future XDefiant videos, make sure to drop a sub on the channel and turn the noties on. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, if you've played mouse and keyboard for any serious amount of time, you have likely heard the name Kovaaks FPS Aim Trainer, and that is the subject of today's video, as over the past couple of months I've been hard at work making my very own XDefiant playlist, and in my time iterating on this playlist, I reached out to prominent community mapper Wallpiper the creator, and with my expertise in XDefiant and his expertise in creating custom maps for Kovaaks, we were able to put our heads together and come up with some unique scenarios that I feel like really represent XDefiant well. So for those of you guys who aren't very familiar with Kovaaks, I'm going to show you guys how to go about downloading my playlist. And now when you open Kovaaks for the first time, you're going to start off in this online playlist tab, and down here you're going to see this bar that says enter playlist sharecode. This sharecode is going to be down in the description and in the pinned comment, and so obviously you'll just go down there, copy it, and then just click in here and paste it, and then search the sharecode. It says I've already subscribed to it, obviously, and now for you it'll just say subscribed. Then you can scroll down here and XDefiant enjoys a warm-up at ClueFPS. And now that we're subscribed to the playlist, to play the playlist, we just search up XDefiant. Here we see XDefiant enjoys warm-up. If we'd like to favorite it, we can. Click on the play button, and that will open the playlist up here where we can see all the scenarios that are involved. And now for those of you guys who are more familiar with Kovaaks, a lot of you guys are going to recognize most of these scenarios, but the ones to note here that are brand new and commissioned by Wallpaper are these ones that include my name, that being a Clue Track, Clue Click Intermediate, and Clue TS Intermediate. And now this is a complete warm-up playlist covering all the aim disciplines in tracking, clicking, and switching, comprised of 18 scenarios that I feel like represent aim situations that you'll often find yourself in when playing XDefiant. And so because it's only 18 scenarios, it's kept relatively short. This should only take you 25 to 30 minutes to complete before you're able to hop into game. I would recommend playing this before you hop on, just to warm up your aim, although you could also play the playlist after you get off to either decompress or to practice things that you found you were struggling with during your game session. Very quickly here, I'm just going to run down the scenario list here and give you guys an idea of why I included these scenarios in my playlist. So firstly, starting off with Smooth Sphere, this is just going to help you guys practice smoothly tracking a target that's moving consistently in one direction. Close to Strafes is going to be a reactive tracking scenario where you're going to have to react to an AD strafing and jumping target. Kata Icy Fast Strafes is going to be another reactive tracking scenario, but with dodge this time, so you'll have to compensate for your own movement as well as the target's movement. Revolving Tracking Strafes is another movement scenario where you're going to be moving in one direction, tracking an AD strafing target. Narrow Strafe 2 is going to be tracking an AD strafing target, but specifically aiming for the head. This target can also crouch as well as jump, so it's a little bit harder than the previous two reactive tracking scenarios. Now we arrive at the first of the brand new scenarios that I developed with Wallpaper to closely emulate the mechanics of XDefiant, that being Clue Track. And now what's different about this scenario is that Wallpaper has found a way to emulate the air strafing from XDefiant, and this scenario is going to be a good challenge for you guys, as this target is constantly jumping and changing directions in midair, and it'll keep you guys on your toes. Next we have VSS Close Mid Long, another tracking scenario. What's unique about this one is the target isn't maintaining one set speed during the scenario, so you will be forced to employ some target reading to match the speed that the target is moving at, as well as react to directional changes. Next we have Control Sphere, which is the reactive version of Smooth Sphere. This is just going to be practicing smoothly reacting to changes in direction without flying off the target, which will help you guys when people are doing very tight grounded AD strafes. Next we have the first of our dynamic clicking scenarios in Skeet Clicking, where the target is going to be traveling in an arc. What this is going to help you guys with is switching targets to people who are jumping through the air and hitting headshots on them. Next we have One Wall 5 Targets Pasu Small. Now I hate Pasu and therefore I hate this scenario, but it is the perfect scenario to dial in your micro corrections to make sure that you're able to get those long range headshots, and so I had to include it here. Next we come to the second of our unique scenarios that were jointly developed by me and Wallpaper, that being Clue Click Intermediate. Now you can consider this an alternative version of Pass Too Small, with the twist being that your character will be moving, so you will have to compensate your aim for your own movement. Next we have PSGS Small. This is a movement clicking scenario where you're mostly going to be practicing going for headshots on targets that are also AD strafing and moving up and down stairs. This is going to help you guys with slower firing guns such as the SVD, the MK20, the M16, the Magnum, and the Deagle. Next we have Wide Wall 6 targets small, where we're going to be practicing our wide angle flicks and making sure that we're landing smoothly on target without overshooting. Next we have Smoothbot Switch Robots. This is going to help practice our switching aim between targets that are moving smoothly in one direction. Next we have Control Switch the Finals. These bots are going to be a lot more evasive than Smoothbot, and so we're going to have to practice our reactive aim. As well, the range of angles present in this scenario is a lot more diverse, with high ground and low ground angles providing a bit more of a challenge. Next we come to Clue TS Intermediate, which is just the tracking version of Clue Click and the last of our unique scenarios. For this scenario, we're just going to be practicing our tracking and compensating for our own movement as we switch between target to target. Following that, we have Fugla XYZ TS. This is going to be more of a speed-focused reactive scenario. The bots are still very evasive, but they're quite a bit larger and the angles are a lot tighter, making this a little bit more easy, allowing you to focus more on speed. And lastly, we have TAM Target Switch Control, which is a version of Control Sphere for target switching, where the bots do not move on the vertical axis. And as well, this is a 360-degree scenario, so bots are going to be spawning all around you. And with that, we've covered every scenario in the playlist. Play through it once, and you'll be ready for anything the game has to throw at you. But there we have it. That's been the breakdown of my custom Kovaaks playlist that I'll be playing in the interim while we wait for XDefiant release. If you guys give it a shot, let me know what you think about it. As well, if you beat any of my scores, make sure to rub it in. But that's been all for me. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.